Hi all. Last week we talked about presence. I would like to talk about this week patience, because patience is the root of all of our presence. Take a moment and think about your life. Think about your daily grind, your routine, the way you get to work every morning. Think about the hundreds of people you pass, brush shoulders with, even push past. Think about the way you interact with people. It's weird to think about, but you interact with hundreds of people on a daily basis and don't even realize it. These interactions are small moments, tiny, seemingly insignificant seconds of your life. They have no weight to them, no purpose, no real meaning. Yet they have significant power. These small moments all add up to the bigger sum of your life, creating opportunities and experiences that are missed or abused by the hurried and impatient. So what if you took 5 minutes today to slow down and appreciate the people and interactions around you? What if you took a moment to notice the sorrow on one woman's face, or the pain in that man's eyes sitting next to you at work, on the bus, or out to eat? What could your tiny interaction mean to these people? We spend our lives waiting for the next big event to happen in our lives, the next destination, usually unaware of the moments being created around us. It's why many discuss presence, or being there in those moments. It can indeed feel and be almost magical, but we have to recognize that our awareness, kindness, and growth depend on something many of us miss. It all requires patience. Consider this powerful quote by Lao Tzu. Do you have the patience to wait until your mud settles and the water is clear? Can you remain unmoving until the right action arises by itself? You see, we might think of waiting as taking time, but it's actually less about clock time and more about inner space. Of course, there are moments when our immediate gut-level response to a situation is a flash of intuition that can be trusted, moments when it's crystal clear what needs to be done. But at other times, an experience stirs up some of that inner mud, and at those times, patience engages us in the process of becoming still. An unclear mind, one in which right action isn't obvious, isn't always a bad thing. Wisdom, after all, develops at the edges of our understanding. Our fundamental questions can frustrate us, or create a positive sense of wonder and possibility. The challenge is to develop enough stillness to allow the questions to pose themselves without our judgment. This is where patience comes in. Needing answers isn't the point. Patience is in finding value in the questions in and of themselves. The root word for question, after all, is quest. And so this spirit of adventure should be embedded within true questioning. Just remember that questioning does not always mean answers. It can simply be a doorway. You see, when we think we know, we expect to find a solution in the directions of which we are looking. When we don't know where to look, we can remain open to all directions. But remaining open and unmoving, as Lao Tzu suggests, isn't about being passive or lacking conviction. There's lots of committed activity happening beneath the surface. It takes great effort and discipline to remain alert to what's happening within. This sharp alertness awakens us to the power of the subtle. The mental seeds we sow become the roots of our skillful words and actions, and it is patience which creates that inner space. So let's talk about that mud again, our unexamined reactions and habituated patterns of interpretation. They rise up to the surface, but then eventually they settle. Our view clears, And we find that those initial rigid interpretations relax and a multiplicity of perspectives emerge. We start to see in a way that is more real, more whole, more true, and we become more free to consciously choose our actions. Through it all, the journey of patience is rooted in knowing that our current reality inevitably gives way to change. But change won't always happen when we think it should. And patience with ourselves comes from accepting that there are things we can control and things we cannot. And though we must make diligent efforts to keep pushing the boundaries of our awareness and to deepen our ability to rest comfortably in the present moment, how fast we develop isn't up to us. Patience, then, is a kind withholding of judgment, of conclusion, and a valiant invitation for our evolution to unfold just as it needs to. You see, we're conditioned to think that our lives revolve around great big moments. But great moments often catch us unaware, beautifully wrapped in what others may consider small gestures of both patience and kindness. As always, peace and love, Jim.